Hello, I'm Emma from English. My students are always complaining about irregular English verbs. How can I learn them? What are the rules? I'm not gonna lie, they are tough. Be, do, have, go, come, say, take, get, make, see. These are all really common English verbs, and they're all irregular verbs. So when they change into the past simple tense or the present perfect tense, the verb changes quite a lot. But you already know this. There are fewer irregular verbs than there are regular verbs. But these irregular verbs are very, very common verbs. They're used more often than other regular verbs. So if you've been telling yourself that you don't need to worry about irregular verbs, get your head out of the clouds. Stop dreaming. You need to learn how to use these important English verbs automatically. In this lesson, I'm going to test your knowledge of past tense irregular verbs to train you to think of them instantly. So get ready, you need to be thinking quickly. Pay attention. On the screen, you'll see a verb appear in the present tense. Eat. Then you'll see the past simple tense. Ate. And the past participle. Eaten. But this is a speed test, so you need to try and beat me to it. Answer out loud before I do, and then you can tell your friends that you beat your teacher in an irregular verb test. Ready? Let's get started. Become. Became. Become. Bring. Brought. Brought. Forget. Forgot. Forgotten. Of course you didn't forget. Choose. Chose. Chosen. Find. Found. Found. Come. Came. Come. Drive. Drove. Driven. Fall. Fell. Fallen. Feel. Felt. Felt. Buy. Bought. Bought. I thought you'd know that one. Fly. Flew. Flown. Be. Now the be verb in the present tense is am or is or are. In the past simple tense, it's, was or were. And as a past participle, it's been. Nice one. Know. Knew. Known. Get. Got. And it could be got or gotten, depending on if you're using British or American English. Wear. Wore. Worn. Tear. Tore. Torn. Have, we did this one before, had and had. Swim, in the past tense, swam. In the past participle, swum. Keep, kept, kept. Go, in the past simple is went, and in the past participle it's gone or been. That can be a little tricky to explain, but you use been and gone for different reasons. If you go somewhere else, to another country, to a friend's house, then you have gone from the original place, maybe your house. But if you have been, then you have gone, but you've also come back to the original place. That's the main difference between been and gone. Teach, taught, and taught. Sleep, slept, slept. Lend, lent, and lent. Stand, stood, and stood. Pay, paid, paid. Let, and let. Lose, lost, and lost. Sing, sang, sung. Meet, met, and met. Begin, began, begun. Put, put, and put. Read, read, and read. Notice the pronunciation changes, but the spelling stays the same. Read, read, read. Say, said, said. Make, made. Of course you know that one. It's made. Sell, sold, sold. Think, think, thought. I thought it was right. Have you thought about that? Thought. Drink, drank, drunk. Send, sent, and sent. Leave, left, and left. Sit, sat, sat. Speak, spoke, spoken. Write, wrote, and written. Take, took, and taken. Lie, and this is lie when you're not telling the truth, becomes lied and lied. But lie can also be when you are flat like on your bed, and it becomes lay and lain. Now, that's not very common to use the past participle form of lay, but it's worth knowing the difference. There are two verbs that are very similar. Smell. Now, smell is usually a regular verb. Smelled. But in the UK, it can be an irregular verb in British English. Smelt. Smelt. Just be careful, you might see it written in a couple of different ways. But the most common way is smelled. And the past participle form is smelled. Give. Gave. Given. Hear, heard, and heard. Tell, told, and told. See, saw, seen. Understand, understood, understood. Do, did, done. Phew, how did you go? I'm sure there were quite a few that you know and that you got right, but there were probably a few that tested your memory. Maybe you haven't used them in a little while, so it's a good idea to jog your memory. But don't worry about it if you didn't get them all right. Use this video to test and build your knowledge of these verbs. Go back to the start of the video and practice again and again and again until you have them all memorized. Which irregular verbs do you find most difficult to use and remember? Share them in the comments under this video. And don't forget that there are a bunch of irregular verbs that are only irregular because they don't actually change in different tenses. They're always the same. There's only one form. For example, bet, cut, hit, hurt, let, put. We spoke about those just before. Quit, read and read. The spelling is the same, but the pronunciation's different. Set, shut, and spread. For those of you who are feeling up for the challenge, then download this worksheet up here to practice using these verbs in different tenses. Well, that's it for this mini training lesson. I'm sure that you must feel great about reviewing and practicing how to use these verbs in English so that you can speak more fluently, confidently, and automatically in English. Now, check out this extra training that I prepared about the present perfect tense and practice using the past participle form in this tense. There's also another playlist right here with more English lessons. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next lesson.